What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Nick J. Francis channel. Depressing day for us. Big game in the top four race. I'm gonna say title race, not even a title race. Top four race. Do you know what I'm saying? But boy, we were. You know what I mean? Like, we were looking like the hare, and now we're looking like the tortoise. Like, it's kind of peak for us. But before we get into the game, I'm here with my boy Alex. Do you know what I mean? I'll drop his socials in the description in the video, so you can check out my guy. Main guy, goes to Arsenal games with all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? We just spent the evening watching the game together. We just lost to 3-0. If you didn't know, haven't read the title of the video, lost 3-0 to Palace. Patrick Vieira managing, doing his thing. And boy, I don't know. Alex, over to you, man. Talk to me. What was your thoughts on the game?
Do you know what? I have to give credit to Palace, but I think we just were missing today. From 1 to 11, Partey, who I expected to have a masterclass in the middle, really disappointed. Didn't take the game by the scruff of the neck. And we look jaded. I've heard you use that word to describe some of our performances before. And that's how we look today. We look lethargic. We look slow in our decision making. And we ultimately got punished.
Yeah.
I mean, their first two goals. First one, the little jammy deflection, but good header. Second one, misses the ball, Gabriel, I think it was. And a great finish from Ayew. And by that time, mentally, it's difficult. Yeah. But then once they break on the counter, I mean, we did well to sustain pressure on them as we came out in the second half. But I think once Zaha went through and obviously Odie's tracking back and clips him,
it's like the second or third penalty Odegaard's given away, and it's difficult because you can't really criticise him too tough, because when Partey lost the ball to Zaha, he just stood still. He just did a mannequin challenge and didn't even run.
Literally. So
it was kind of dead. And then obviously you got Odegaard tracking back, but he's not a defender, doesn't jockey, a little bit rash. But you know, for me, players have an off day every now and again. We know that, but today too many players had an off day. The only players I would rate, if I did a player ratings video, the only players I would rate more than a 5 would be Nketiah and Martinelli. Martinelli come on, does his thing, it brings loads of energy. And Martinelli today, and Nketiah, who I was worried about coming on, he looked really sharp. I can't even fault him too tough. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't really criticize those guys there. For me, I feel like any pacey, tricky winger that runs at our back four, especially at Cedric, is going to have some joy. And so it's our midfield's responsibility to slow that attack down. We can't have these guys breaking through at pace, whether that's Mahrez or Grealish or Sancho or whoever. We can't have these guys running at our defence willy-nilly. And our midfield just doesn't do enough for me to slow them down and to just get in front of them and
stop the breaks. Yeah, because the thing is, like, we look vulnerable. Our back four are not confident as it is at the moment.
Yeah.
And the midfield not protecting them is only going to make them more susceptible to mistakes. I mean, I like the relationship that the back four had with Ramsdale, but I think him being out for a bit unsettles it, comes back.
I thought Ramsdale was so poor today. Yeah. I thought Ramsdale and Gabriel looked like they're speaking two different languages, bro.
He didn't give that assurance that he normally provides.
But it's like Gabriel's been doing English lessons and he's gone back to Brazil and now he's forgot all his English, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man needs to get Duolingo Premium, because their communication skills were finito, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It was done out, and I just feel like, you know, we keep saying every game's a must win, every game's a must win. Every game we lose, we heap more and more pressure on ourselves. We're a momentum team. We've been doing well when we have momentum, and that international break came at just the wrong time for us. Yeah. And then, you know, we just look flat. We look really, really flat from the very beginning. I don't think we can blame Arteta for individual performances on the day, but we can maybe blame him for the players not being prepared. They just didn't look prepared. We know Palace are going to come up. Palace have been flying, not flying by Arsenal standards, but flying by Palace standards.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we know they're going to come out. They're going to be aggressive. They were lacking Eze, Elise. There's a couple players that weren't even that they were lacking. Yeah. And in the past, we've played Palace, and it's been, you know, under Hodgson, it's been get Benteke in the box, whip crosses into him, Arsenal weak in the air. But today, it was let's run at these guys, let's play football, let's break through the lines. They were first to absolutely everything. We didn't have a single player who won their physical battles on the pitch today. And when we're going into the transfer market, we need a striker, we need centre mids, but we need to be looking at people. We've got good technical players, as we always have. We have a history of that at Arsenal. But do you know who we needed today, ironically? We needed Patrick Vieira. We need somebody who's physical. We need someone who's going to be first to every challenge. And we didn't have, you know, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, you know, Saka. These are technical players that I'm not expecting to be physical. But the midfielders that we have, Xhaka and Partey sit in an awkward middle ground where they're not super physical and they're not super technical either. And I think it says a lot about Xhaka that he's our starting centre mid and look better when he goes to left back. Yeah. He looks a better left back than he does a centre mid.
Facts.
You know, it's crazy. I don't even know where to begin with. You know, I never want to come on the channel and be negative. I try to be fairly balanced, and you know, everything will change if we can go and really put it on Brighton. But like I said to you when we were watching the game, after this performance, I don't want to see a 1-0. I don't want to see a 2-1.
Really
I want a convincing win. Convince me, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Sell me this pen. Convince me, bro. Jordan Belfort settings, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see 3s, 4s, and 5s, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see cricket umpires doing all that and that, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see man getting hit for 6 because this 1-0, 2-0 thing, it's long. Even when we went a goal down, although it was a scrappy goal, we didn't really have a lot of confidence that we could come back. We were already thinking draw because we just do not score more than 1 goal, especially away from home.
And I hope for Arteta's sake, we don't pay for this at the end of the season, because obviously there were, you know, a lot of critics saying, you know, January could cost us not bringing in an extra attacking option. Now, I'm not even saying a striker, but just someone that can get us those goals.
Someone's going to contribute 5-10 goals.
Literally, if we look at our goal scoring options or where our goals have come from, it's been Smith Rowe. Who else has got 8? I think Martinelli's got a few. Saka's got a few. Lacazette, not really. So we're lacking there, and there's a huge deficiency. And the thing is, teams know that. And that's why I have to give credit to Palace, because they set up and they just nullified our wingers. You know, for the first half an hour, 40 minutes, Saka touched the ball a couple times and just passed it back into the middle, because they know we've got nothing going down the middle that's going to cause a threat to them. It's only going to be from the wings.
I think Saka was okay today, but like I say, the only people that had positive performances were Nketiah, and I always kind of facepalm when Nketiah's getting suited up for the game, because I just think we need goals, and Nketiah is not the guy for goals, but he done really, really well.
Had a good shot as well.
The only criticism off the crossbar, the only criticism is that, you know, he's a pass-first player, not a shot-first player, which is what you need in a striker. But he did really, really well today. Gabby Martinelli did really well today, looked sharp. But Odegaard was poor, Partey was poor. You know, most of their got the only positive, and it's not really a positive at all. It's me trying to spin it as a positive to feel better about myself. But the only positive is that their goals came from unforced errors from us, and unforced errors are something we can change. We can just go out and not make those errors again. Do you know what I mean? If we play that exact same game with the same setup before the break, I feel that the result is different. Not necessarily we win, but I feel we get something out of the game. Do you know what I mean? And we knock in a couple of goals. But it's just that momentum. And at the moment, we need so many players, because yes, we need a striker and a CM for the sake of the starting 11. But when you look at Tomiyasu's out, we've got Cedric. Tierney's out, we've got Tavares. The difference in the gap between starting 11 and bench players is massive. And we need to not just bring in, we're stuck because we need to bring in players for the starting 11 now, but we also need to bring in players, you know, that are going to bolster the squad generally, because none of these guys, that Cedric loses every physical battle. He loses pace battles and physical battles. As a right back, you need to either be physically strong or you need to have some pace. Do you know what I mean?
And he loses both.
He loses both. Like, Wan-Bissaka's not necessarily super quick, but he's pretty strong and physical. He can tackle. Reece James, obviously the best of both. He can tackle. He's strong and he's pretty quick as well. Do you know what I mean? Trent is not the quickest, but he can tackle. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's really good going forwards. Cedric is miles behind any of these guys, and he's not even someone that you look at and go, oh, at least he's going to get better. You know, if anything, he's going to get worse. You know, Tavares, you've got to have a little bit of hope. He's more of the sort of Trent mould, which is like a bombing forwards, attacking fullback. But when we're playing, as Arteta says, every game's a cup final. We just can't have this. We just cannot have this.
Well, we haven't got the depth to play it like a cup final. That's the thing as well. I mean, we were talking and saying, when you look at the bench, they had Edward, they had Eze, that didn't even come on. They had MacArthur, who's the captain. You know, they had, who else did they bring on? They had Benteke that they didn't bring on as well.
Milivojevic came on. You know, Michael Olise wasn't playing.
Literally, they've got depth that actually shames our bench.
Their squad overall is better than our squad.
Absolutely.
100%. Our starting 11 might be better than theirs on our day. Obviously not today. But today wasn't our starting 11. Our starting 11 might be better than theirs, but their squad is 100% better than ours. And we should not be in a position, or we cannot go and be a Champions League competing team with a squad that is worse than that of Crystal Palace, who are probably going to finish 12th this season. Do you know what I mean? That can't be the reality. So we need not just a couple of players. We need a big a big influx of talent, and we need to start seeing some of these youngsters. We keep talking about the signing great youngsters. We need to start bringing some of these guys through and getting them some minutes. Not necessarily in the league, where it's peak right now, but certainly in those cup games. Do you know what I mean? Next season,
absolutely.
So, but we got roll on to Brighton on Saturday.
We need a big 3 points.
We need a big 3 points. We're going to be at home. What do you think? Score prediction for Saturday?
I'm hoping 3-0 as a minimum. I see them getting a goal, so I'll say 3-1. I'll go 3-1.
Yeah, Neil Maupay loves a goal against Arsenal.
Yeah, what are you going?
I agree with you actually. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think Ramsdale looks a little bit unsettled, a little bit rash. Needs to just calm things down a little bit. He's gone from not just 2 relegations, but being a really good keeper for Arsenal, which means lots of headlines, lots of Instagram, lots of, he's in a stratosphere he probably was never in 100%. Before, and he's milking it
wearing essentials and that. I know you weren't wearing that before,
do you know what I'm saying?
Man's wearing brown essentials and Jordans.
So shout out Ramsdale, man. We love Ramsdale. We love all the players. Don't get it twisted. I love all the players, but today was a poor day at the office. The man's got to say it how it is. But I'll go with my boy Alex. I'll say 3-1 Brighton. I'll be back here crying again if we lose a game 100%. To Brighton. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll look like an idiot. Do you know what I'm saying? Arsenal players and Mikel, but don't make me look like an idiot, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? 100%. But fam, thanks for joining me on the video.
Pleasure,
it's been a Nick J. Francis channel. We're out. Love.
Done now.